Hello internet crazy people, my name is Hannah. Welcome to my channel. This is my first video that I'm going to be posting. I plan on posting every Monday and Thursday. On Mondays we're going to talk about an unsolved mystery, which personally is something that I'm really interested in and passionate about. I am majoring in criminology right now, so you know. And on Thursdays I'm going to post some kind of theory. So today it is Monday and we're going to be talking about the mysterious case of the original Night Stalker. And at the end of the video I will tell you what we're going to be doing on Thursday, but for now let's just get into it. So like I was saying, we're going to be talking about the original Night Stalker. He is also known as the East Area Rapist, the Diamond Knot Killer, or the Golden State Killer. He is an unidentified serial killer. I will post a picture or a composite sketch of him here. And he is a unknown serial killer and rapist who committed around 50 rapes and 12 murders in North Carolina in the mid-1970s and in Southern California from 1979 to 1986. So he was actively killing and raping around that time. Now you might have heard of another Night Stalker who is actually not him. That is Richard Ramirez, and I'll be posting a picture on screen right now. And he was another serial killer, so if you want me to talk about him sometime, let me know and I will do that. But anyways, so he has never been caught, obviously this is unsolved, but he was linked by DNA in 2001 to all of the crimes. So basically his victims were all middle to upper class, living in single-story houses or cul-de-sacs in rural areas or adjacent to vacant fields, schools, parks, creeks, or construction sites, aka places that aren't going to be populated at night, making them an easy target. So if you live near one of those, have fun. Anyways, but he originally targeted lone women, but then moved on to couples, where he would break into the house, gain control with a handgun. He bound them with knots, with a diamond knot, giving him the name, the Diamond Knot Killer. Duh, Hannah. But he would kill the male if there was one by bludgeoning him to death, before sexually assaulting the female and then murdering them as well. So this was very baffling to police. They did not know who the hell this guy was. He very rarely left victims that he intended to murder alive. But anyways, so the FBI, since obviously they didn't know who it was, had a psychological and profile of it, so that's what I'm going to be going over now. So he was a white male, aged 18 to 25 when the crimes were committed, with blue or hazel eyes. He was around 5'8" to 5'11", physically fit, most likely wore size 9 shoes, type A blood, they had blood, DNA, whatever. And he lived in the Sacramento area between 1976 and 1979. He was known to pose as a realtor, a building inspector, or a prospective home buyer in order to get access to his victims. He had a proficiency in diamond knots, so maybe he had some kind of training in the Boy Scouts, or I don't know, where do you learn to tie diamond knots? They didn't have the internet back then, so the Boy Scouts are probably something like that. He likely engaged in bondage-oriented sexual fantasies with a very submissive partner, as well as he had a ton of access to handguns, knives, and flashlights. He lived and worked near Ventura, California in 1980 and had some sort of job that did not require him to work in the early morning hours or in the middle of the night. So odds are probably like a basic 9 to 5 job, which that doesn't narrow it down now, does it? So he was very good at blending into upscale neighborhoods. He would appear harmless, he was an intellectual, and very articulate. He was neat and well organized in his personal life, but he would not enter into long-term relationships and would have been described as arrogant, domineering, manipulative, and a chronic liar by people who knew him. Because he was so good at what he did, which is not something to be good at, killing and raping people, but he was good at it. So he possibly had some knowledge of police investigation methods and evidence gathering techniques. He might have even had law enforcement or military police training based on what they found at the crime scenes. Odds are he would have had some sort of criminal record as a teen that would have been expunged, maybe for burglary or breaking and entering. Probably engaged with sex with prostitutes, peeped into windows of potential victims, and who were not attacked. So he was very, very confident in his abilities. He most likely hated women. He would not stop committing his crimes unless he was either apprehended or killed. So there were some suspects, but again, no one was ever caught for these crimes. So the first suspect that we're going to be talking about is a man named Brett Glatsby. He was born in California, where one of the botched attacks took place, as well as where some of the murders took place. He was allegedly a drug dealer, but he was killed in Mexico around 1982. And if you remember from the beginning of the video, he actually was killing past then. Therefore, he was eliminated as a suspect since his death happened prior to the murder of victim Janelle Cruz, who I will post a picture on the screen. Second suspect is named Paul Schneider. He was a career criminal and a high-ranking member of the Aryan Brotherhood, which, for those of you who don't know, Aryans are a super race of white people that the Nazis wanted to make, so yikes. So he lived in Orange County during the murders of a couple, Keith and Patrice Harrington, Manuela Withington, and Janelle Cruz, the same girl that the other suspect was cleared of because of her murder. He was actually eliminated through DNA analysis though, so it was not him. Third suspect is named Joe Alsip. So he actually worked as one of the victims' business partner, a man named Lyman Smith. Lyman and his wife Charlene were murdered, and it was thought to be someone who knew them. They were found bound and she was raped, and they were both bludgeoned to death with a log from their own fireplace, which is just horrible. Later DNA test confirmed that that was the work of a serial killer, but again, might have been someone who knew them, which makes Joe a suspect. So a pastor actually claimed that Joe had confessed to him about the murders, but it was deemed as dubious by law enforcement. He was arraigned for the Smiths' murders in 1982, but the charges were dropped. As of right now, the case remains unsolved, but it was reopened by the FBI in June of 2016, and they are now offering a $50,000 reward for any information that would lead to some sort of conclusion. The FBI has a webpage dedicated to this case, as well as posting digital billboards with the killer's sketch across the 50 states. If he is alive today, he is probably 60 to 70 years old, and the FBI does believe that he is still alive. He may have some sort of jewelry or other small trophy that he took from his victim's home. And even with the amount of time that has passed since these murders took place, the FBI does believe that he or someone with information leading to his arrest is out there. Someone knows something. that can lead to some sort of conclusion for the families of so many victims. So if you have any information on this case, you can call their tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI or go to tips.fbi.org, and that information will be in the description down below. So, I don't actually know how this turned out. Maybe I'll have to film this again. If I'm blurry, I'm very sorry. I don't have the best camera, and I'm shooting this in my dorm room. Currently my camera's stacked on like 2 step stools, a Tupperware container, and a cookie. In a package, of course, not just like an empty cookie. What am I saying? Okay, anyways. So, if you found this case interesting and you want to hear about more interesting unsolved cases, please subscribe. Again, this is my first video. I promise the quality will get better and I will probably not be as nervous as time goes on, so I will not be talking as fast, and I'm gonna try to get some sort of background set up. I do live in a dorm, so currently my wardrobe is my only clear space. But I'm gonna try to get some sort of like, maybe like unsolved like poster thing with the red string, whatever. I will figure it out. Anyways, so that was my video about the original Night Stalker. Again, if you have any information, the information is down below, or you can leave a tip. And on Thursday, we're going to be talking about the theory of the smiley face killer gang, which is something that is so fascinating, and it's a really interesting theory. So if you want to hear about that, please subscribe down below. Again, I post videos every Monday and Thursday, or I will be posting videos every Monday or Thursday. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time maybe. Bye!